Hey, welcome back to chillphilgaming. I'm Phil. There's my dog Hash Brown chilling in the background. Today we're gonna talk about Planet 9. Is it real? Also known as Planet X? I don't know. There's some debate about that, but there's one piece of evidence that we're gonna look at today that might reveal that it is real. We're gonna look at Universe Sandbox as we often do. We take looking at Universe Sandbox, we go playing this game at kind of a slower pace, kind of a meditative way to interact with this game, especially at the end, kind of relate it to our own lives. So I'm glad you're here, especially if you're here for the first time. Hit that subscribe button, hit the bell so you're notified when a new video drops, and let me know what you liked about it or what you didn't like about it in the comments, and I will probably feature a comment. So here we go. The simulation in Universe Sandbox is called a goblin at the edge of the solar system. That sounds intense, so we're gonna find out why. Okay. All right, 2015 TG387, also known as the Goblin. On October 1st, 2018, astronomers announced the discovery of a distant trans-Neptunian object in the solar system. Designated 2015 TG387, but nicknamed the Goblin by its discoverers, the object was discovered at a distance roughly 80 AU from the Sun, but its extremely elongated orbit likely takes it up to 2,300 AU away. So AU is called an astronomical unit. Astronomers have decided 1 AU is the distance from the Earth to the Sun. So, and I think it takes about 8 minutes to get from the Sun to Earth. That distance is 1 AU. The closest that this goblin gets to the Sun is 80 AU, but goes up to 2,300 AU. So let's zoom out. Here it is right here. We're gonna zoom out and see how far that is. And look, so Sedna, we know Sedna, we've seen that in one of our videos recently, that Sedna has a long, elongated orbit, but check this out. So here's Sedna, and here is the Goblin's orbit. It's massive, okay? So it goes all the way out here. Now what's this, okay? This is just a comet. I don't know why Universe Sandbox makes it very pronounced in this particular simulation. I think just to make it seem different, like this isn't something that's orbiting the Sun. I looked a little bit, I played it forward. This just is not orbiting the Sun. This is coming in, this is a comet that came in and is exiting out. But this comet, which is interesting, was discovered in 1906. And it was discovered because that's when it was right here near us, okay? So it came in pretty close to us. People saw it, noticed it, named it, and now it's on its way out, okay? So that's not orbiting at all. What we're focusing on is on this, which is nicknamed the Goblin. The shape and orientations of the orbits of distant objects like this one, like the Goblin, have led astronomers to speculate that another planet, often referred to as Planet 9 or sometimes Planet X, may exist in the far reaches of the solar system. And then that's what shepherds these distant objects with its gravity, okay, pulling it in this kind of an elongated way. When we think of the solar system, we think of what we understand the solar system to be, Pluto near the edge, but what we realize is Sedna is now also part of our solar system, and if this is Pluto right here, okay, this guy right here, think of Sedna, our solar system reaches far beyond Pluto, and now, because of the Goblin, it reaches even further beyond. So astronomers are thinking, okay, what is pulling things this far? Could there be even further, some sort of mysterious Planet 9, Planet X, that is kind of affecting these elongated orbits? So they do end up going around the Sun, but then when they come around the Sun, they're pulled somehow, some way, this way. And see, Sedna and the Goblin is pulled kind of in a similar direction. Maybe it's a different planet, maybe it's Planet 9. And let's click on this link and see where this takes us. So it brings up this article right here. New extremely distant solar system object found during hunt for Planet X, okay? So Scott Shepard and his colleagues are once again redefining the solar system's edge. They discovered a new extremely distant object, okay, not new anymore, but when it was new, this article came out announcing it, okay? Discovered a new distant object far beyond Pluto with an orbit that supports the presence of an even farther out super-Earth or larger planet X. The newly found object, also known as the Goblin, was announced Tuesday in the International Astronomical Union's Minor Planet Center. Okay, kind of what we talked about earlier, it comes into 80 AU from the sun, and Pluto, for context, comes in around 34 AU. You know, Pluto's back beyond Neptune, back beyond Uranus, and so that is much further away than Pluto. It's just incredible how far away. Okay, so these objects are giving astronomers pause. They're like, okay, this is weird. This is in our solar system. It's coming and it's going around the sun, but then it has this elongated, massive orbit. And so they're like, is something pulling it out that way, giving it this elongated orbit? Hey, interesting questions, okay? And let's look at it. Let's go in, let's see if we, I don't know if they even have if they can figure out what it looks like. I mean, they've just created kind of a black circle. I don't know that they can figure that out. So anyway, that's fascinating. And to give you kind of a sense of how far that is, right? Because right now, from this perspective, let's zoom out. From this perspective, okay, and we look at how this is, it's like, oh, it comes in pretty close to the sun here, right? It seems here, it looks like it comes in pretty close to the sun. Well, let's zoom in, let's follow it, okay? We're gonna zoom into it, we're gonna click on it so that we follow it with our camera, and we see the closest. Let's click up time, and we're gonna hit play, and we're gonna click up time here, and we're gonna follow it. The closest it gets to the sun, which is 80 AU, is approximately, okay, I'm zooming out here to find out for sure. Okay, right around here, okay? We're getting real close. So we'll zoom back in, we're gonna watch this all play out. Okay, so we thought, from zoomed out, it looked like pretty close to the sun, but we know how far Neptune is. Saturn, Jupiter looks real close from this perspective, but we're right in there. We are so close to the sun compared to everything else. Jupiter is this far away, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and here we are back beyond, even when we're the closest to the sun as possible, which we just passed, we're back beyond Neptune and back beyond Pluto. Here's Pluto. So that puts it in perspective. Now when we zoom out, that's the closest. Now look how far 23 AU is from the sun when you put it in that perspective. And again, this comet here has been moving away from our inner orbits with the sun since 1906. So that has been over 100 years right here. Okay, so imagine how far. It's just ridiculous. And so this gives people pause, like, oh, there's something else going on here. There's a bigger thing at play. There's a bigger truth. And that's what I wanted to talk about with you guys today. What in your life do you see the effects of? Maybe the side effects of. Side effects are kind of, if you think of you take some medication, you have a lot of side effects. There's a list of side effects. They don't all prove true for any one person, but they can. And if you're seeing side effects, then there's a bigger thing at play. For instance, a couple years ago, I thought I was having a heart attack. But what I found out was it was my blood pressure medication. All the side effects, even the rare ones, started working against my body. And it felt like I felt chest pressure, right around the heart, some tingling and things like that, things going numb. And I thought the bigger truth was that I was having a heart attack. And really, it was just, as it happens, I guess, certain medications can kind of turn against your body and stop working. So we changed the medication, the side effects went away. For another example of if my wife and I seem to be on a different page here, she seems a little snippy or mad at me, then there's probably good reason for it. There's probably a larger truth at play. And it gets me thinking, okay, what did I do that was mean to her? Because oftentimes it's something that I do that completely didn't take her into account, and it was selfish and mean to her. And so sometimes we can't see the bigger thing. We can only see the effects, like these elongated orbits means that there's something else at play here, something mysterious, maybe a planet 9, maybe a planet X. What sort of things do you go, oh, there's something bigger at play here? Maybe you go, you see your grades are getting worse if you're in school. And there's a bigger thing at play here. Maybe you're not getting enough sleep. Maybe that's the bigger thing. Maybe you're partying too much. Maybe whatever it is. Maybe you despise going into work. You're feeling frustrated about going to work. And you don't want to go to work. What's the bigger thing at play here? Maybe there's a boss that's frustrating you. Maybe you don't like what you do. When you see the effects and you go, why am I mad when I have to go into work? You see the effects. Why does this thing bother me? There's a bigger truth at play here. And maybe that truth is, I don't like my job. Or I don't feel like I'm living my best possible life. Maybe I need to make a change here and account and aim for something that's going to bring me more energy, something that's going to make me feel lighter, something that's not going to make me feel like this weight is on me. So when we see the effects like an elongated orbit, maybe then it gets us asking the question. It lets us ask the question. If we choose to ask the question, which we should, what's the bigger truth here? What am I missing? I'm missing something. This is not like everything else. This is different. We see the outliers. And when we notice those side effects, it gets us asking questions, or it should. So what about you? What is it in your life that is getting you to ask a question? Maybe it is a change of job. Maybe what do you need to do to get better grades? What do you need to study more? Maybe you need more margin in your life. Maybe you need to cut back on an extracurricular activity and have a little bit more time to study. Or maybe you have no real close friendships in your life and all you care about is school. And that would be kind of the opposite, is I need some healthy community for my life. And all I care about is getting A pluses in school. And maybe that is an indicator of, I need to cut back maybe on something. I need to reprioritize my time and bring people into my life. And I think that is a worthy thing to question. What sort of effects do you see? Maybe not the real thing, but it indicates that there is something bigger going on, a bigger truth. And that is what I wanted to talk about today. Cool. So I hope that was helpful. I hope you enjoyed that. And yeah, let me know. What sort of things, leave in the comments. Be honest, be vulnerable, be open if you want to. That's what I want to be here for, is to be kind of an outlet if you need an outlet. And maybe that's something that you've discovered and kind of asking yourself these questions, like, I feel alone. I need someone to talk to. I'll read your comments. I'll respond back to you, be helpful in any way that I can over the internet. But ultimately, you should have people that you look up to, some mentors in your life that you can have a handshake with, that you can see and meet with in person. But I'm happy to be here in any way that I can that's helpful to you. And leave a comment, let me know, and subscribe, and come back for more. I hope I see you again in the future. And until then, keep it chill.